moment. And it looks like the YouTube is up as well, ladies and gentlemen. All right, give me a moment. Let me pull a page up. And we'll get underway here. Your channel. And I'm live. Okay. Volume is good, but it looks a little blurry. I don't know why. Hopefully that corrects itself, guys. But I'm looking very, very blurry on YouTube. And I don't know why. Wave a little bit. I'm looking good camera-wise, but I guess it's just not filtering over. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, actually. Okay. Yeah, on my screen I'm looking at, it just looks a little blurry. Okay. So, type in 1 if you guys can hear me. And yeah, it might be a little bit laggy, but there's nothing I could do about that. Okay. On the Facebook side of things, you guys go ahead on Facebook, hit 1 if you are in the room, and you guys hear me okay. Okay, if you hear and see me okay. All right, Justice, I see you on Facebook. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Kino with STEMwithKino.com, and I have 2 cameras on me, so I got to look this way and look this way and everything. But hi, I'm Kino with STEMwithKino.com. And if you are preparing for any military aptitude test, I am the guy to know. I don't even say that like braggingly. I'm just an expert on the exams and okay. See, yeah, I'm just an expert on the exams and I help tutor people and prepare people for these exams. So I recommend you guys definitely finding a tutor before you listen to your recruiter and go, yeah, just take it and see how you do, because you only get 3 times to do it. Excuse me. All right, Brian. I see Brian in the room. All right. I think this you pronounce your name Ramek. I don't remember ever seeing your name, but welcome to my channel. Welcome to the room. If you'd like to input what test you're preparing for, that would be great. I thought I saw another name, but ours, I see you. Piero, I see you. Ramek, I hope I was pronounced your name right, because my name is Kino. Aviation Selection Test Battery. Okay, cool. Pilot or Naval Flight Officer? All right. And who else is in the room on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen? Who else is in the room? Talk to me. Okay, somebody just sent me a friend request. On the friend request, that's pretty much for friends and family. Um, just follow me at stemwithkino.com, and I will actually put the link on both the Facebook and the YouTube page. If you guys do, you know, yeah, my friend requests are for friends and family. All right, so on Facebook, and you would already be following me on Facebook, but I'll just put it up anyway for redundancy. All right. Okay, I am going to talk about a question that kind of threw me and one of my clients for a loop. It was a doozy, and I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try to find it because I was like, whoa. It was good. I like the tough questions, and because I just like attacking them and formulating a plan for execution and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, but this thing was a beast. See if I can't find it. All right, I should have had it ready, but I just got finished working with Justice. So, practice. I think no, we didn't. No, I thought we found it. All right, guys. All right, I'm not going to take too much time looking for this. I'll just have it on deck for like tomorrow for the sift. But it was really a really good question, and this is a good one. So we'll probably just do this one. Actually, we'll do two. All right. And then I'll go into the aviation side of things. Okay. I am posting the question up on the Facebook page, and this one I'm just shooting right from the hip. All right. Because it just looks interesting and it's about aircraft. And we like aircraft here at STEMwithKino.com. And more importantly, we like word problems. Why do we like word problems? Because word problems are some of the biggest challenges for my subscribers, you know. Okay, so we'll lead into the first one. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please check in. Let us know where you're from, what test you're preparing for. If you have already done so, don't worry about it. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like or hit the dislike button. Just show some activity. Show me some love or show me some hate. I don't care. I'm here to solve problems. So if I am, you don't like me that much, put a thumbs down. It's okay on the YouTube. If you are on Facebook, make sure that you are following my page. Okay, the should be posted. All right. So this is what I talk about line by line and diagram. Okay. A Navy F/A-18E Super Hornet and an Air Force F-35 Alpha Lightning II leave Carswell Joint Reserve Base at the same time. The F-18E is flying due east at 260 miles per hour, and the F-35A is flying west. How long will it be in hours and minutes until the planes are 1,800 miles apart? My people know how to do this, and I'm just going to wait 2 minutes for you guys to come up with an answer. First off, anybody in the room, tell me what type of problem this is. You got an F-18 going east. Well, that would be that way on the camera. Boom, ours is in the building. Pow! That is an expansion. You gave me the formula, but I know you know it's an expansion, and that's why you gave me the formula RT plus RT equals distance. So you answered the question, but you didn't answer the question. It's all good, bro. I'm messing with you. Okay, so yeah, it is an expansion. I didn't even think it was an expansion. I thought it was going to be like one of those triangular ones when I looked at it, but it's all good. All right, so Mr. Price, you should have been all over that, son. All right, cool. All right, so it is an expansion. And can anybody come up with an answer? Yeah, ours, Mr. Smarty Pants, throwing the equation up there all quick, getting ahead of me. You were just supposed to type expansion. He was like, bang, there's a formula. Shut up, Kino. And I'm just having fun. Shout out to ours, man. He did his thing. He threw that equation out there quick. But you know what? That's what we want our people to do. You go after these questions like a shark. You don't waste any time because time is your enemy on the aviation selection test battery and the officer aptitude rating test for the Coast Guard, Marine Corps, and United States Navy. All right. So, yeah, somebody's got to answer for me. I know. All the newcomers, man, please check in on Facebook. I only see like one person checked in on Facebook. Let us know where you're from, what test. Are you preparing for the aviation selection test battery or the OAR? Don't be shy. This is not the place to be shy. This is not the place to be like, oh, I might make a mistake and put up the wrong answer. I don't care if you put up the wrong answer because I will tell you what the right answer is. And Piero comes in at 3 hours. Where's the question? Oh, yeah, that's right. My YouTubers can't see. All right, the question. All right. So if you're following me on Facebook, you can actually see the questions on my page feed. We can't present it on YouTube. Now, I saw a YouTuber do some type of thing where it was just like screen and he slid the screen in the actual question. And it was probably using OBS selector, but it is tough, man, juggling. I really need support, some type of team other than my bookkeeper is and stuff and everything, and they don't know anything about audio visual and stuff like that. So, you know, I got my money on Piero though. All right, so the question is as follows. All right, Charlie, that's C, 3 hours. Okay. All right, so we have two aircraft. We have due east. We have an F-18 going in that direction and an F-35 going in that direction. Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. I hit my little keyboard and things went haywire. Okay, so the F-18 is moving this direction at 260 miles per hour, and the F-35 is going in that direction, 340 miles per hour. And it's asking how long will it take these two aircraft to become 1,800 miles apart. So we got 260 X-ray plus 340 X-ray equals 1800. We combine like terms, we get 0, 10, 6 divided by 1,800. Now, cool thing is, some of you guys are going to be like 600 and then 1,800. And you're going to go, how many times is 600 going to 1,800? Don't do that. Go bang, 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 bang. 18 divided by 6 is 3. You get the same answer, 3 hours. Okay. If everybody got that, please hit 1 in Facebook and on the... I think my Facebook dropped. We're going to see in a moment here. Okay, no, it's still up. All right, yeah. So, guys, hit 1. And the Matt Morris, welcome. I don't ever remember seeing your name, Matt Morris. Welcome to the room. Mr. Air Force, I see you. I see you. All right. Wow, I didn't know it was that easy. And see, this is why you need a tutor that specializes in this test so you can rip through this and get an outstanding score. Speaking of outstanding scores, my last 2 passes. When I say my pass, because if you train with me and you pass, that means I pass. So my last 2 passes were number 1, super proud of Jonathan passed the SIFT. Got a very competitive score, and I'm proud of him. And Jarrett. So shout outs to Jarrett and Jonathan. Jarrett passed the aviation selection test battery, and he got a competitive score. He blew it. He kind of knocked it out the park a little bit. So I'm very, very happy about that. I like when my guys do good, because if you do good on this test, it's going to change your life. And so that's what I like to think about. I'm like a part of a lot of people changing their lives and stuff like that, for the better, of course, and a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. So, okay, so we got that one out. All right, and everybody understands it. Good. All the new people that are in the building, thank you for showing up. Tell your recruiters, tell your ROTC commanders. There's some crazy old guy. Okay, I just saw a note. Some crazy old guy solving military aptitude test questions. And even if you're ASVAB on any live stream, you can bring ASVAB questions. Because some of you guys need to take the ASVAB, which is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, and you got to hit a certain GT score. So you can still bring those. You can bring ASVAB questions to any one of my live streams. My door is always open for ASVAB. Okay. All right, let's get into the next one. And I'm sorry, I got to do some leaning and jumping and shaking. All right, so here's another question we're going to have to put on your thinking cap. I love these because once you get yourself to a certain standard, and I'm sorry, guys, I'm looking around my secondary camera. I'm not crazy. All right. So yeah, the thing is too, if you're following me on Facebook, you can actually see the questions and you can see the answer responses. And you can see in a lot of aspects why we don't need to solve the problem all the way. Let's go all the way. That's a song from back in the day. Let's go all the way. Why aren't you pasting? Okay, I don't know why this thing is not cooperating with me, but new. Bang, bang. All right, guys. I'm coming. Like, man, we ain't wait all this time for you to, man, get these. What was your questions posed? I have no idea, folks. Please. I don't know what's up with this. Okay, I'm just gonna do it verbally then. Oh, maybe that is the problem. All right. I hope I didn't lose my Facebook feed, but let me bang this out again. Shit, maybe I did. Excuse my language, guys. Wow, I think I did lose it. All right, go live. All right. All right, I don't know what happened there, but apparently we lost the feed, but I'm back. So it's okay. All right. All right. Let me get myself reacclimated, folks. Make sure my Facebook people, my PP people, are getting the information. All right, so we're back. Looks like, and I apologize for to my Facebook people. We lost some connection or something. I was like, well, I keep trying to post, and nothing is like coming up, and so. All right, the next question is posted, and for my YouTubers, I'm going to speak through this slowly because I know a lot of you guys may not have Facebook. All right, so here's a question where we have to put on our thinking caps. All right. A ground surveillance radar set can detect moving individuals out to a radius of 10 kilometers. If the radar is used to cover a 36-degree segment of the circle around the radar, how many square kilometers will it cover? Use 3.14 as the value. All right, and so our answers are 6.28, and these are all in square kilometers. We got 12.56, we have 31.4, we have 62.8, and then we have 360. All these are in square kilometers. Okay, so my philosophy is line by line diagram. You read every line and you diagram. All right, and then, all right. Okay, so we have a ground surveillance radar set that can detect. So there's got to be a starting point, and it can detect things 10 miles out at a 36-degree segment, 10 kilometers out. So bang, bang. All right. So this is 36 degrees and 10 kilometers out. So the distance out to there is 10 kilometers for a segment of 36 degrees. So they want to know the square area. Okay, and then you're like, well, how can I determine the square area for, a piece? Don't think about the piece. Think about the whole. All right? Think about the whole circle. All right, because area is equal to pi r squared. This is 3.14 radius squared. So the radius squared is 10 kilometers. 10 times 10 is 100. 100. Then we multiply pi, r squared by pi. If we multiply pi by 100, the decimal float over it. Boom, boom. 2 spaces. All right. Now, this is the entire area of the circle. So this is for a 360-degree circle. But our actual territory that we're covering is only 36 degrees, which is 10%. So we have 314 square kilometers out of the full circle. If we want to know 10% of anything, which 36 is 10% of 360, move it over 1. 31.4 square kilometers is the answer. Hit 1 if you got it. If you didn't, record, or after this is laid out, you can stop and you can pause as I go through the question. All right. So, although it looked super duper hard, you need a teacher, an instructor to kind of teach you how to sift through these questions. You can burn this down in 60 seconds. And as I say again and again and again and again and again until I'm blue in the face, you cannot take 5 minutes, 6 minutes on these questions. You can't. You got to find a way in. It's kind of like, okay, Rebecca, all right, okay, well, you see what I did. And this is kind of what I guess you would call DVRable. You can always go back and you can look at it after this is done on YouTube as well as Facebook. Okay, so yeah, those were some challenging. Yeah, I am awesome, Brian. That's awesome. No, I'm awesome. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna get the big head like that. Thank you. So yeah, you got to find a way in, and these exams give you a way in. These questions give you a way in. You look at them, you're like, oh my God, it's so hard. No, it's not that hard. You just have to find a way in. So that's that. All right. Now we're going to go into our aviation terms, and my Facebook people, I apologize. I dropped the ball. I didn't drop the ball. Well, somehow we got disconnected. But if you connect, you'll be back with me. So welcome, YouTubers. Hit the like button, please hit the like button if you like this video. And all right, looking for the aviation topic we're going to talk about today. We left off at pedostatic instruments. All right, and I was, just talking about some instructive things, how you're going to have to learn various types. Well, not learn various types, but as a pilot, you're going to learn how the pedostatic system works. But then, when you become an instructor, you're going to have to teach it. You're going to have to learn it to the level that you're going to have to teach it, because it's not going to fly. If you just go, oh well, air just goes into the ram air and it's a pressure differential. You got to talk about the inner mechanisms and stuff like that as an instructor. This demonstrates you truly know what you're talking about, and that you are really going above and you have gone above and beyond the call of duty as far as your learning goes. We're going to talk about V speeds now. In science and engineering, we will call V velocity. That would be the letter for velocity. So when we talk about V speeds, we're talking about velocity. V speeds. Now, I think this is what I can do, since I cannot. I can do this. Airspeed indicator V speeds. For the images. Okay. We're going to talk about V speeds. All right. And I'm going to hit I can give you guys a link to, actually on Pinterest. All right. So for my YouTubers, you can now see the exact image that I'm looking at. Hold on. All right. So the link is right here. Paste. Bang. And so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And I'm going to do like a little bit of a representation as we look at the airspeed indicator. And give me a moment. And I'm actually going to drop the image. All right. So this comes from Pinterest, guys. All right. And give me a moment. Let me let this refresh, folks. And then we'll go in. So the airspeed indicator. The airspeed indicator is one of your basic 6 instruments. Okay. what does the airspeed indicator do? It tells you how fast you're going through the air, flying through the air. All right, so there's a couple speeds if we're testing aviation and nautical information, people, that you need to be aware of. All right, so I'm going in. All right. Okay. The first speed is indicated. All right. And who's my guy in the room? Let me see. Let me see. Ours. Would you be so kind as to type in indicated on the chat? Please. I'm going to be going through the different speeds, and if you would, I would like you to type in indicated. Okay. So indicated, you guys can see on the chat, indicated airspeed. We're talking about airspeed. So indicated airspeed. Indicated airspeed is actually the speed that the pilot, that he or she reads right on the face of the airspeed indicator. All right, so let's draw an airspeed indicator, and if you're looking at the image on Pinterest, okay, you can see that we got 40 knots here, and you can see we have 200 over here, and so we can see a, you know what? Let me do this. Green arc that goes from here to here. I'll try to, because we have a white arc, and I'm just gonna make it like a circle. All right, and our green is gonna come into the white arc range. All right, this represents a white arc, guys, and I might as well just make this white as a green arc. Now, there's gonna be a yellow arc as well, and I'm gonna put a Y there, and then we're gonna have a red radial line. And maybe I should have used red. Right. So if you're following the image if you're looking at the image on Pinterest, this pretty much, we have a white arc, a green arc, a yellow arc, and we have a red radial line. Okay. So all you guys have flight training, you guys are aware of this because you get in the cockpit all the time and you see your airspeed indicator. All right. So, all right. Indicated airspeed is what we look at and we see on the airspeed indicator. So if my needle was down here at 40, my indicated airspeed will be 40 knots. We don't operate in miles per hour. Miles per hour are for cars or statute miles. We operate in nautical miles. Okay. Calibrated airspeed. Ours, please type in calibrated. All right. Calibrated airspeed is indicated airspeed corrected for installation and instrument error. What do we mean by that? There could be some calibrations that need to be done because it's like a 20-foot line from, your pitot tube to the actual flight deck where the pilots are looking at it. So we'd have to correct for some changes, bends and twists and turns and stuff like that, because they would have an effect on an airline, and that line goes inside an expandable diaphragm inside the airspeed indicator. So as the airspeed increases, it expands against the static pressure outside. But if you look at my live stream from yesterday for AFOQT, we go in depth in the airspeed indicator. Okay, true airspeed. True airspeed is calibrated airspeed corrected for temperature and pressure variations. Okay. We normally should have a standard lapse rate. Every 1,000 feet we climb, our airspeed should decrease by 2 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius and 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a standard lapse rate. Okay. And so if we climb through 1,000, all right, we should have dropped 2 degrees Celsius or 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. We go to 2,000, we should have dropped another 2 degrees Celsius or 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so true airspeed. Indicated, calibrated, and true airspeed. There's another one, ours, equivalent airspeed. Equivalent airspeed comes into play when you fly aircraft that are faster than 300 knots. When you go faster than 300 knots, the airspeed, I won't say that, yeah, I guess you could say the airspeed indicators pretty much. It's not very reliable because there's too many air molecules. The ram air pressure on a pitot tube is very, very fine. It's very, very small, right? And so the air molecules bunch up right on that pinhole and it really won't get an accurate reading. So you need something ours type Mach meter, M-A-C-H, a Mach meter. Okay, you need a Mach meter that tells you your Mach speed is, what your true airspeed is in relation to the speed of sound. The speed that my voice is, I guess, vibrating in my vocal cords, going to the camera, and then your camera or your speaker on your laptop to your ear. Okay, you need a Mach meter. So high performance aircraft that exceed 300 knots on a normal basis will have a Mach meter in them. All right. Equivalent, I talked about equivalent, calibrated, true airspeed. We talked about true airspeed and then ground speed. Ground speed, very, very important. So let's say here is our aircraft, right? Yeah, see, I got my props now, y'all better watch out. All right, so let's just say we had wind in our face. Let's say this wind was, and I'm overlaying on the airspeed indicator for a moment. What if the wind was coming in this direction at, say, 30 knots? All right. And we're flying in this direction. Let's say we're flying at 120 knots. All right. Well, if we're flying at 120 knots and then we have 30 knots of wind in our face, all right, we would actually be flying at 90 knots ground speed. 90 knots. Because, yeah, we are flying at 120, but then we got 30 knots in our face. And so it slows down our ground speed. That is the speed you're moving over the ground. Conversely, if we were going this way at 120 knots, then we would actually be moving at 150 over the ground because we would be getting pushed. Our aircraft would be getting pushed. All right, so that is a headwind versus a tailwind. Headwind, bad. Tailwind, good. Am I caveman? So, as pilots, there's some other speeds that we need to be familiar with. Now, when I used to teach full time, I had like some memory aids that I would use, right? So V, remember V is your velocity. It's just your speed. And the first one is VS0. But I look at this as VSO, all right? Because this is your stall speed in the clean configuration. It is a dirty configuration, all right, which is right here. That's VSO. So if your needle gets down to the bottom of the white arc, that is your stall speed in the dirty configuration. What do I mean by dirty? Do we go outside and we just throw mud on the plane and go flying? It's in a dirty configuration, sir. No. Dirty, apply what we're talking about is the configuration. If we're in a dirty configuration, our landing gear and flaps and slats are extended. Everything's hanging out. We're dirty. We're talking about in a streamlined sense or aerodynamically. We got our and if you guys ever been flying, you look outside the window, man, why is all that stuff hanging off the wing, man? It wasn't hanging off the wing before. Is this plane okay? No, those are your flaps, and you'll see ailerons moving and all kind of flight control surfaces. It's a dirty configuration because the landing gear are extended, kind of like, well, there's no flaps now, but you guys can see the landing gear on this aircraft. All right. Should be able to see the landing gear on the bottom, okay? So this is in a dirty configuration. If it had flaps extended as well, it'd be in a dirty configuration. If the landing gear are up, it is in a clean configuration, all right, which is the lower limit of the green arc, and we call that VS1, all right? VS1, all right, that is the stall speed, or it's referred to as stall speed or minimum steady flight speed in a specified configuration. Lower limit of the green arc. So lower limit of the white arc, VSO. Flaps and gear out. That's what I think about that. Oh, when I've been back when I was training, I was like, man, I gotta this one. Yeah, what's what? Flaps out. Clean configuration. Your stall speed, bottom of the green arc. Your stall speed in the clean configuration. So when you're slowing down and your airspeed needle is like right about here, you need to have some concerns. You need to start thinking about slow flight operations, and it just is what it is. We know when we're getting slower, we're in a very vulnerable position aerodynamically because we're getting close to like the stall speeds. All right. VFE. This is the maximum flap extension speed. Okay. When we're coming in and we're kind of, maneuvering to, get into the airport traffic area, and we might be on approach or something like that, right? You do not extend your flaps above the top of the white arc. You don't do it. And if you're taking off and your needle's going this way because you're building up speed, you should have your flaps retracted before you come out of that, before you speed up. Like, let's say, okay, we're at 40 knots, right? And we're going to be flying at, I don't know, let's say 150 knots. By the time the needle, you build up your speed, you take off, you're getting faster, and you'll climb out like right about here. You'll be in your climb out and everything. When you get into your cruise climb and the needle starts to come in here, we need to have our flaps retracted before we hit this arc. So you'll hear a lot of speed checks. You know what I mean? If I tell my co-pilot, okay, give me 10 degrees of flaps, he's going to touch the flap handle. He's going to look at the airspeed indicator to make sure we're in the white arc, and he's going to verbally say, speed checks, 10 degrees, bang. Okay? So there's a lot of communication. And in a sense, your flight instructor is kind of like your co-pilot. You're in the left seat, and they're in the right seat, confirming everything, because as flight instructors, we sit in the right-hand side of the cockpit, where the captain would be the left side. It's switched around for helicopters, but for fixed wing, captain left, which is where you train as a student in the left side, because there's no parallax. And we'll explain what that means down the road. Okay, so VSO, flaps extension, maximum flaps extended speed, upper limit of the white arc, VFE. All right, and VS1, we talked about that. All right, minimum steady flight speed in the specified configuration by the limit. Okay, the upper limit of the green arc is called the maximum structural cruising speed. Upper limit of the green arc, and we'll just say that this is where, okay, so we'll just call this upper limit. All right, so this is V and O. No, don't go into turbulence. No. I'm just trying, right? You'll be like, yeah, V and O, don't go into turbulence, because it is the maximum structural cruising speed. No, don't go there unless you're in smooth air. Okay, I would not. Now, is that you have what I'm trying to say here? Yellow means caution, so you don't want to be bouncing around in here in turbulence. Okay. You also have something that's not depicted, but you might have it placarded. Okay, for my aviation private pilot guys, something is placarded. Placards are notices inside the aircraft that tell you, okay, let's say my maneuvering speed is VA. All right, maneuvering speed. All right, this is what maneuvering speed is, VA. Why do we call it maneuvering speed? In some aircraft, they call it turbulence penetration speed. Okay, because let's say we're about 100 knots right here. And they say, okay, well, your maneuvering speed is 97 knots. Now, it changes with weight considerations. Like, it can get lower, but my point is this. Maneuvering speed, if you're at certain speeds, you can move the control yoke or your stick, and you can structurally damage the aircraft. Okay? So when you're at maneuvering speed, let's say, when will we need to like really jockey the airplane? Possibly. All right. Thunderstorm development. You get hit with updrafts and downdrafts, and planes like, and you want to immediately correct the aircraft. You fly the airplane. You don't let the airplane fly you. That's when you want to put in immediate control inputs. Okay, if you're up here in the yellow arc, you don't want to do that. You can structurally damage the aircraft and hurt yourself. Okay, so you want to be, that's what maneuvering speed is for. I can put in full abrupt control movements without structurally damaging the aircraft. So if I get in really, really rough air where I'm getting my butt kicked and I'm getting bounced around, I'm going to slow it down to the maneuvering speed, or what we call turbulence penetration speed. Because at that speed, we can just we can ride the horse, like Texas to the Bronco or whatever. So, and that's kind of what it can feel like sometimes when you're getting your butt kicked with turbulence. Okay. And don't be scared of turbulence. Don't let your passengers fear turbulence. Turbulence is just upward, downward drafts of air and stuff like that. If you were in a boat and you crossed the current, the boat would be like, "Ooh, oh my God, my stomach, I'm feeling queasy," and stuff like that. And that's how people feel in turbulence. They get very, very scared. Okay, VLE. Not all aircraft have retractable landing gear, but we have VLE. All right. VLE normally is not depicted on the airspeed indicator. You will have like a placard, like it'll have your VA and VLE right on the panel, right? And so let's say our VLE was, we'll just say 100 knots. We'll use that. So VLE 100 knots, VA 97 knots. So it would be a whole notice on there, like probably about that small. My mother's "Don't Mess with Texas" magnet, right? And then you sit there and you can. That's telling you must have the landing gear retracted. Now, if you have fixed gear, you don't worry about it. You don't have a VLE. But if your aircraft has retractable gear, it probably 9 times out of 10 has a VLE speed. Now, you would not see it depicted on the airspeed indicator, but as a pilot, you should be reading your pilot operating handbook, -1, whatever you want to call it. And it's in there, and it will tell you, okay, we need these landing gear up in the wheel wells before we hit this speed. The design, I call it maneuvering speed, it's the design maneuvering speed. And we talked about that. If rough air or severe turbulence is encountered, airspeed should be reduced to maneuvering speed to minimize stress on the airplane structure. So I told you that. If we're up high, we can't put in full abrupt control movements. Okay, and then we have VX and VY, which is not depicted, but you can find it in the aircraft. And you would kind of have to kind of interpolate or guess kind of where, because I think some VXs or vest rated climbs are like 67 knots. Okay. If you look at that airspeed indicator, it'd be slightly under 70 by like a few points and stuff like that. And most instructors will give you a pass. But let's talk about, because I used to fight with this also when I was a student. All right. But luckily, you don't have to, because STEMkino.com. I had to go on my announcer's voice. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Think about the coordinate system. All right. We have a y-axis and we have an x-axis. This all goes back to, ties in with engineering, right? Okay. And Ars, thank you. He put up some VX and VY numbers. All right. So I used to go nuts with this, like best rated climb, best angle climb. The hell? Okay. So let's talk about best rated climb. Let's say my best rated climb, or VY. What the hell does that mean? If you're flying at 67 knots, it's going to result in the greatest gain in altitude over time. All right. So, boom, we got the y-axis. We're going to get the most, as soon as the clock starts running, we're going to get the most altitude. So I think if we started at the x-axis, and this is just how my brain works, you could use it or you can throw it away. If it's not useful to you, throw it away. But we get the greatest gain in altitude over time. All right. Now, that's altitude straight up. For best angle, VX, we get the greatest gain in altitude over distance. All right. I hope that helps, because this is how I figured it out in my brain. If I'm leaving here and I'm going in a positive direction, best angle is the great, and X has more angles than Y. That's another thing too. That's another thing I used to use. X has more angles. VX has more angles. The letter X has more angles. But it is the greatest gain. If we're flying in that direction, it's the greatest gain in altitude over distance. All right. Whereas best rate, the rate at which we're doing something. If I drive at a fast rate, I'm going to get the greatest gain in altitude over time. And that's what, so best rate of climb, best angle of climb. X has more angles. So when we talk about VX, VY, or you guys going to, API and initial flight screening or your primary or undergraduate pilot training, um, you know, this is what, these are V speeds that you should be familiar with. And even before testing, because every test has an aviation section in it if you are vying to be a pilot applicant. Okay. So that is airspeeds and the airspeed indicator. We talked yesterday on how this worked. All right. Then we have, I'm sorry, I didn't even, all right. So we had in our, if you're still on Pinterest and you see that image, then you have a red radial line. All right. That red radial line is VNE. Never exceed speed under any circumstances. You never ever exceed that speed because you're definitely going to cause, well, if you're in it for a couple seconds, I don't recommend even playing at that speed, even going near that speed. All right. I don't think I've ever been anywhere near V&E. In jets, yeah, you kind of like approach it, but I respect it. I respect it. Because you never know when you're going to run into rough air. I mean, you could hit a front and you're trying to correct yourself because that's the pilot's instinct. If the wing drops, the pilot's instinct is like, well, we had a wing drop. It's to correct it. So stay well away from the never exceed speed or the red radial line. NE, never exceed. That is the never exceed speed. All right. So the red radial line, I'm going to read out some questions. Which color identifies the never exceed speed? A is the upper limit of the green arc, the upper limit of the white arc, or C, the red radial line. It's the red radial line. Which speed represents maneuvering speed? We have V alpha, we have V Lima Oscar, and we have V and E. Well, we just talked about that. We just never exceed speed. So the maneuvering speed is VA, or design maneuvering speed. All right, let's get our terms right. Design maneuvering speed. Us old timers, we just call it maneuvering speed back in the day. But it's that speed is there because the manufacturer says, look, this is the speed, this is the speed you need to be at for turbulence penetration or to put in full abrupt control movements without structurally damaging the aircraft. So the design maneuvering speed. What color indicates the power off stall speed in a specified configuration? All right. This will be the lower limit of the green arc. Okay, we talked about that. VS1. All right. VSO, dirty configuration, gear out, flaps out, is the stall speed in the dirty configuration. Stall speed in the clean configuration is the bottom of the green arc. All right. So you guys have that pick, or you have that link. Even if you come here later or whatever, you can still get that link. And I just want to make sure that I'm covering all my points when it's concerning this stuff, because I want you to walk away like, yo, I know what. Oh, here's another one. Which would provide the greatest gain in altitude and the shortest distance during climb after takeoff? VX or VY? Somebody interact. Work with me, guys. What do you got? Which one? Do you use VX or VY to get the greatest gain? Okay. All right. We know you all over it. I was like, oh. He's like, man, I'm not a designated examiner. You don't need to answer that fast. All right. Okay. Ooh, everybody. All right. VSO, VS1, VFE. Okay. So yeah, ours, I thank you for your assistance because you really put in work today. Indicated, calibrated, true airspeed, equivalent airspeed, Mach meter, ground speed, VS1, VS VS1, VSO, VS1, VFE, VNO. And he put in the VX and VY. All right. So your needle, because there is no like really 74. So I would look at 75 on the airspeed indicator, which is the point between the 80 and the 70, and it'll be a half tick mark. So if I had to fly at 74 knots, I fly with my needle pointer slightly short of the 75. All right. And most examiners, if you're testing, you're in a flight test, they'll be like, okay, he's flying 74. You know, even if you creep up a little bit, as long as you're kind of trimming, getting that nose up just slightly to bleed that airspeed off, you should be okay. All right. So, Ars, I thank you, brother, for your assistance, because he's probably one of the few of you guys that actually know these V speeds and stuff like that. Okay, all right. Man, I dropped Facebook. I don't think anybody came back to Facebook, but it'll still be there in the live stream and stuff. It looks like everybody's in YouTube. Again, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Okay. I didn't even check my email to see if anybody has sent any questions, but I will be back tomorrow for my SIFT people. And all you newcomers, hold on, let me just check. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. The way you get the best out of this, bring your test prep book. Go through your test prep book. You know I'm here Thursdays, 1700 Eastern. Fridays, 1700 Eastern. 2 p.m. on Saturdays, or 1400 Eastern. You guys know, just bring your books. I don't think that you know everything that you see in your book, unless you're my guys. But if you're not one of my guys, this is a channel where you can come to and you can get questions answered. Well, today is the aviation selection test battery and the officer aptitude rating. All right, now I got to tell you, my primary targets are the pilot applicants. But if you're OAR, you got to take part of that whole thing that a pilot would take. So it's like they go hand in hand with your SWO, Intel SWO, whatever, or aviation pilot, naval flight officer. You're still going to have to deal with math. You're still going to have to deal with the mechanical comprehension and the reading comprehension. So bring your books. It didn't cost you a thing. I mean, unless you want to go to my website and go to the channel support page. I'd stick that out right. You can donate $1, $5, whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's www.stemwithkino.com. And that's not for my guys, my clients, because you guys already pay me. But, you know, hey, if you feel like this did something for you, donate $1. Donate $1. Like, yeah, man, keep the Kino train going. Because, you know, I want to be here for you guys and give you guys information and things. You know, when people take the test, they debrief with me. That's what my guys get. If you're one of my guys, I'm giving you everything. The debrief comes in, this guy passed. And you guys, if you follow me on my channel on Facebook, you see I'm helping guys pass left and right. Speaking of passes, Jonathan, and Jarrett this week. Jonathan passed the United States Army standard instrument for flight training. Now, I tell people, I've been preparing people for the SIFT since it was the AFAS. And that's true. Before it was the SIFT, which is the standard instrument for flight training, the Army had a test called the AFAS. And I've been preparing people for the AFAS back when it was on paper. But the SIFT is electronic, and it is a reactive test. All right, so it gives you your next question based on how you respond, and it can get harder, or can get easier, or it can get harder. So that's what Jonathan did, and Jarrett passed the aviation selection test battery. He got a really, really good score. So I'm proud of my guys. You know, they come here, they ask questions, and they got it done. So, I mean, they're submitting their packets, and both of these gentlemen, Jarrett and Jonathan, really, really good, solid dudes. I was happy for both of them, because in a sense, you know what? When you really, really think about it, I don't help you pass the test. I don't. I give you information, and I tell you what to study, and you study that information. If you don't understand a math problem or something like that, or a concept, yeah, I do. So, yeah, I guess I do. But it's not all me, 100%. Like, it's you. It's when you put in the work and you dedicate yourself and you're like, hey, guys, come on, man, we have a cookout, man, let's drink some beers. And you say, no, I don't want to do that. I got to study for my SIFT, for my AFOQT, for my ASTB, my OAR, or my ASVAB. You know what I'm saying? You got to, all your buddies and the beer and the women, they will be there when you get done and you get your wings on your chest. So take this very, very seriously, because you only get a couple shots at this. Your SIFT, only 2 shots. And I'm going to piss the recruiters off. Stop listening to these recruiters say, oh, just take it, see how you do. If you do that in the SIFT, you only got one more chance to take it. If you did that on the Aviation Selection Test Battery OER, you only get 2 more shots to take it. I would rather you be prepared, take it one time and keep it moving, than to take it and then, oh man, I got to find a tutor. Or some people that take it once, they take it twice. Oh man, I got to find a tutor. And you only got 1 shot left. I'd rather you be prepared the first time so you can just nail it and you keep moving. You go to your WAFT program, OCS, whatever. Okay, so it is the top of the hour. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. And my Facebook people, I apologize. I don't know what happened. I turn around, I'm like, damn, I dropped. But YouTube has been stable. Again, guys, hit the like button. New faces, Ramek, thank you for coming. And I hope to see you again. There were some other people on Facebook that I saw. And I hate that happened. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh man, this guy's YouTube is really good, but his signal's not stable. I don't know. I think I closed the window by accident, to be honest. To be brutally honest, I think that's what happened. So, guys, it is the top of the hour, and my props are falling on the floor off my desk, but that's okay. Okay. Looks like I'm clear. So, guys, look, we will see you next week. All my SIFT people, I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm Kino with STEM with Kino.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and be safe. Oh, and enjoy the 4th of July. Both channels. Facebook, YouTube. Enjoy your 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Good evening. YouTube.